So I have made a lot of builds in The Sims, a lot of interesting ones, but out of all of them, I'm really glad I decided to record this one, because this is a giant opera house, and it took me like 3 days. Granted, part of it, the struggle was trying to record it all, and I'll admit there were some parts that I just didn't keep in. Mostly just like the parts that were repetitive, like copying, pasting rooms, or just making the same bathroom over and over again. Wow, this was exhausting. I literally started this on my second day off of work, and then it took me the day after that, and then today after work, I came back to it and finished it. This was a bit ambitious. I mean, filming my first Sims speed build, and I decided to do a building on a 64 by 64 lot. Literally, while I was making this, I watched Little Simsy make a high school build on a 64 by 64 lot, and even she had a horrible time. I mean, great build, and this is also a pretty good build, but man, it was rough. Anyway, this is the stage so far. I didn't go in with a certain stage play in mind, or opera, I should say. I just kind of threw in what would look interesting. And like the middle centerpiece kind of looks like something from the 1990s Phantom of the Opera, which I kind of based this one off of. Well, based on the Garnier Opera House in Paris, France. But it's kind of a mismatch of a bunch of opera houses, since I didn't really look up floor plans or anything like that. I kind of just went off vibes at first. Even when I started this, I didn't have a reference, because like the little platforms here, if I would have gone an easier route, I really struggled with these. But this is The Sims, so there's only so much I could do. Also, if I tried to make an accurate Paris Opera House, I would have probably passed away. Oh my god, this took so much time and energy. With recording this, I literally had to film for like 3 hours, delete or edit the footage together, delete the separate footage, and then record 3 more hours. Because like my computer can only hold so much stuff. But anyway, I did it, and I'm pretty proud of that. This took like 10-12 hours. Yeah. So like I said, I've made a lot of cool builds in The Sims, and you know, I didn't record them, but like I'm so proud of those builds, and I'll probably make a video going and looking at them, because like, you know, the only other people who've seen them are the people who've downloaded them on The Sims, or The Sims Gallery. But you know, I spent so much time on this, and I'd like someone to see it, really. I've literally made the cabin from the Evil Dead movies And that really turned out well because I did look up an actual floor plan that I found online. I mean, I had to tweak it a little bit because, you know, the limited stuff you could do with The Sims. But it turned out pretty good. So I'll definitely make a video on it. But for now, we got this beautiful opera house. Yeah, I went in and made... There shouldn't be any electricity. I mean, maybe those chandeliers, actually. But oh well. There's some modern things in this. Because I didn't really know. Because I wanted a Phantom of the Opera. But also I kind of took some inspiration from the theater that I go to see musicals and shows. I'll talk more about that at a different part. But yeah, the stairs are a different layout than what I end up having them, because like I said, I didn't look at a reference when I started like I should have. Also, with watching Little Simsy, I also looked up to see if there are any videos of other people making opera houses, because, you know, it felt pretty obscure of a thing to do, especially with 1990s Phantom of the Opera in mind. But there were other Sims builds for opera houses, and it was probably a mistake to watch those videos while making my own. Well, kind of good too. But I was like, yeesh, mine is not gonna be as good looking as those. But you know, I was only at the like halfway point when I watched those videos, and I actually think this turned out pretty good for me. Anyway, I don't even know why I kept this clip in. I don't even keep this part of the building. I don't know how much I should talk during these speed builds. Or... because like, I don't want to watch a speed build that's like just music. I kind of like when people talk. I mean, not that I have much to say, except that I struggled with the roofs. But I think we all know how difficult it is to work with the roofs in The Sims. Like, I really just deleted this whole part that I spent so much time on. Which is awesome. Because I figured out a different way to do it. Just by lifting the room up. Speaking of... I feel like they should give us, like, an option to do a 4th floor. I mean, we just had the anniversary of The Sims, so it's like... maybe... as a treat, give us a 4th floor. I'm sure every, like, Castle Sims builder would appreciate it. I don't know how much I can keep up with the talking. My voice is not used to talking this much at all. I mean, my vocal cords hurt from the last video I did. And like, that wasn't even that long ago that I made it, so... and honestly, I was gonna hold off on posting this right away, because obviously only want to do like a little bit at a time. But honestly, I want to show this video off right away because, you know, I spent so much time building it. And there's a Phantom of the Paradise Discord group that I'm a part of. But I'd really love to show them right away. And I don't want to send them, like, the actual file of the video. Shout out to them. Now that the design's being... like, the pre-orders are over, but I was part of the Phantom of the Paradise 50th anniversary sign, which was pretty cool. I mean, very cool for me. I've never done anything like that. And they're about to be sent out. So, exciting for me. I don't know if you could tell, but I'm not really much of a talker. Ergo, why I couldn't really... I'm surely struggling with my voice right now. But anyway, I guess I should talk about the build. I did work a lot with the sculptures. Because, like, there's a lot of architecture in... well, honestly, like... opera houses and, like... theaters. Anything kind of like this building. I really struggle with these stairs. I love building in The Sims, but it is really annoying sometimes when I can't figure out how to make it work and how to make it not like have a bunch of glitching stuff through. At the end of this, I had some trees that were glitching through at the bottom, and honestly, I don't care. I did this much, and if someone downloads it and wants to fix it, good on them. So for most of this build, I've used a lot of the Get Famous stuff. It was really helpful, because obviously it's kind of stage play based around or set designs. So that's like, I feel like 50% of this build. Also, this build is like super expensive. It's like, I can't even think of the number. 1 million simoleons? Something like that. I didn't even think you could go over that, but apparently you can. So I'm definitely not recommending this as a house. Not that I don't know why you would. Oh, and this is where I finally changed the seating arrangement, because I actually looked at a reference. You know, just wasted all that time previously. There was probably like 3 times that I had like completely changed stuff. For this build, I even actually made a back of the stage part, mainly because it's also a lot of Phantom of the Opera takes place in the back. It's obviously not super movie accurate. I've only got so much space, guys. I was mostly focused on the opera part. But yeah, I felt the need to include it, even where the actors get ready. I would have added more clutter, but I don't want to add too much. I mean, this build is like so big that like by the end of it, the game was moving really slow, which I was worried I was gonna break it. I mean, when I loaded in afterwards to see what it was like in live mode, it was pretty decent. I'm gonna be honest, I did a little bit of editing, but like with so many hours, I really just speeded it up. But you know, I left out a bunch of stuff anyway. Like I said, the copying pasting of the bathrooms, or just tedious, repetitive placements. I mean, I've made sure that like you get what I was doing. Like going around with all those statues and having to like put them in the right spot. I mean, that couldn't have looked fun. I mean, it would have been like 2 seconds sped up, but for me that took forever. And I wasn't gonna waste space on the recording, filming it. But you see the whole build, so I gotta say I really struggled with the stairs and the railing, because like I wanted to have it open, but I couldn't find a way on how to have it open without having the stuff on the outside of the build pop in, so I couldn't really do what I wanted. I even did a really big basement. Well, obviously it's Phantom of the Opera. And, I thought I knew everything about The Sims, but I guess I didn't. At first I thought, oh, I'll do a really big basement, so it's like movie book accurate. But then I realized I don't want to do all that. So I just did it as big as the opera house itself. Maybe like a little bit bigger on that one side. But it's good enough. I mean, it would be a really big expectation to do like a 64 by 64 full basement. That would have been crazy. I mean, it was crazy enough what I did. I mean, first to be building, I did this. What was I thinking? Special interest is what I was thinking. I mean, I've only made so many videos, and yet in both of them, I've told people to watch the 1990s Phantom of the Opera. So if you haven't by now, what are you doing? It's literally free on YouTube. I watched it like twice while making this. Also, there's probably a good chance you can hear my brother in the background again. I can't tame him. I could edit the audio a little bit, but he's just gonna be there. Anyway, I also made Carlotta's room from the movie. Not movie accurate, because like I said, honestly, putting this room in was a last minute idea. Well, not really last minute, but you know what I mean. But later I add the box that has all the rats in it, and I use the like toy squeak mouse from Cats and Dogs. I think it's like a ball or something, but it was the only mouse looking thing that I could find, since for some reason I couldn't get the live edit objects. Not that there was gonna be any rats in there, I don't think. But yeah, I was gonna try to cut corners with like spending simoleons, but I couldn't figure it out. But like, the update was going on while I was building this, so I'm guessing maybe the issue was that, since The Sims always acts weird whenever there's an update. Since I've got clearly plenty of time, 36 whole minutes, I guess I could talk about it a little bit. Pretty exciting that little Simsy got her own kit. And it's pretty great because, you know, she is someone who knows what the Simmers want. So I think I'll definitely get it. Especially to support little Simsy. My Florida representation. But what the heck? Sorry, it just occurred to me that apparently I somehow had the first part of this build repeated. So, I lied. This is like 35 minutes long. Less time to chat. How am I not supposed to come up with more things to talk about? Anyway. The Sims update, the loading screen, or like the main screen, I don't like the colors. I mean, I like the idea of having all the like family you're playing in the front and center, but like the colors of the background I don't really agree with. It just looks, I mean, I'm hoping there's like modders who like make their own custom background for that so that I can change it at some point. And not gonna lie, when I first opened up The Sims, I was like, okay, so is there a setting to change which background I have? No. Give me a pretty pastel one. That's what I want. Anyway, went around with these, as I said, the statues and stuff. Trying to make it as much as architecture as I could. And then the flooring. I really hate when I get rid of a whole lot and I can't figure out how to connect the outside of the lot to the actual lot. Like where those lampposts are. You know what I'm talking about. Like, I couldn't even find the proper, like, path that matched it. And I wish I could just, like, like, click on it and it gave me, like, the proper brick to use. But whatever, I just didn't care. Because, like, this is the only 64 by 64 lot that I thought I had would, like, get famous. But then I looked at Windenburg, I think it was, and it had like 2 64 by 64 lots. Because like the other YouTube video that I watched, I should probably look at who it was. Okay, I looked it up. Raider Tot on YouTube. The lot that he was using looked really fitting. And I was like, what lot is that? I didn't know there was another 64 by 64 lot. I guess there's plenty. I just did not look. Well, I guess I don't really have... I didn't expect to have one with any of the packs that I have. Oh well, I know for the future now. Not that I want to build any 64 by 64 lots anytime soon again. I mean, after the little Simsy, like, high school video, I was like, oh, I kind of want to rebuild a high school. But, like, I gotta control myself, man. My wants can't keep controlling what I'm physically capable of doing. I can't live like this. Anyway, I keep focusing on trying to find things to talk about that I'm not actually talking about the build. Those stained glass windows were a good find since it matched the movie pretty well. Not that I don't think most of you have seen the movie, but I mean, I don't even know how many people would know about the fact that, like, he has a fake forest in the basement. I mean, that's more of a, like, the book and some of the movies. I mean, I don't even know how many of the movies actually feature it. It's been a while since I watched the 2004 Phantom of the Opera. It's, like, once you've seen, like, all the other ones, it's, like, a little bit lower on the list of favorites. Do I think this basement part turned out super awesome, cool? It's okay. I mean, if I went bigger, I probably would have been more detailed, but, like, man, I wanted to get this over with. Because obviously, I technically should be animating instead of doing this. But, you know, if I record myself doing The Sims, technically I'm working. But anyway, I'll try to have an animation out soon. Anyway, I also did the part where the Phantom teaches Christine which I'm already past that. Man, this is fast. Also, I use the 2 little boats to make kind of the rowboat that the Phantom has. I'm trying to it's kind of hard to talk over certain things that I do in the build because it's going super fast. But I could not, I don't want to make it any slower because I really don't want this to be an hour-long video. I mean, it's amazing that I've speeded it up enough to be half an hour. I mean, I kind of debated having the part where I made the whole basement, because obviously, like I said, I don't know this Sims to the 1990s Phantom of the Opera audience. I don't know how much those 2 circles combined. I would have probably gone further as an artist if I stopped focusing so much on my niche interests. But I can't help myself. My love too strong. I should have gotten into Arcane or something. Something trending. I think the closest I gotten is My Little Pony, and that's still kind of a dead fandom, especially after the memes die. Well, it doesn't help that TikTok for us Americans is kind of gonna go kaput. And TikTok was really the only thing that was supporting artists somewhat. I mean, on Instagram, the only likes I get are from my friends in real life or bots, and that's still 5 people. Well, and those 2 bots. But hopefully YouTube and YouTube Shorts carry me a little bit. I'm hoping. I mean, with my animations, they're not even 10 minutes long, so I'm gonna try my best. This is the part where I did kind of a reference to the theater close to me. They have all of the previous posters and stuff from their previous shows going back years and years. It's obviously a very old theater. I mean, every time I go there, I feel like I'm in Phantom of the Opera, so that's kind of why I like going. I would really like to go soon. I have year passes. I don't know what they're called. But I go with my mom to half of the shows that they have. Even if they're not good, I just like to go to the theater. One of the funny parts about the posters and the upstairs part in the theater is that they also have regular shows, comedians and stuff, but also the picture of the Dane and Phil tour and I think the other one was Markiplier, and it's so silly. My favorite part. Anyway, I did these carpets that took longer than what you're seeing. Holding shift. I really struggled with trying to go fast, but the stupid camera in The Sims, when you go down, it kind of still continues to go down even when you stop, and it's I'm gonna give myself motion sickness. Some of the posters are kind of modern, but I gave up on trying to be historically accurate. Anyway, I finished it. Here I brought in my little Eric that I made. I put this on 2x speed because I didn't want this to be super long. But I'll show you every floor from top to bottom. Try to give you a first person, but not actually a point of view. I don't think you care about the bathrooms. There's a display. I didn't do too much with the hallways, because, like, obviously this build was a lot already, so I just put some seating. But anyway, there's a little guy playing the piano in the study area. I put a piano there, even though it's the most expensive piano, but you know, I wanted it to be somewhat look like it fits in. It's kind of weird that like not all the furniture shows when you're at like the very top, which isn't really great if I wanted to take a photo or just viewing. But hey look, Eric was actually talking to people. The universe where he's not afraid. But yeah, there's also the back. And I really want you to see the theater. I also put that wishing well, and I thought about making a wish, but I didn't want to accidentally kill him. And the different fountains. I made one light up. I expected something cooler. I don't know. I don't really do much with the fountains. Showing off the bathrooms, even though that's not important. And then the basement. Which, ooh, spooky. Where Christine sleeps. And then Eric. Hate it. Look at him go. Pretty decent version of the room, I would say. Not super movie accurate, but you know, it gets the job done. I put the picnic basket and everything. Just little references here and there. And I even tried to go through the door. Like how in the movie. And here where no tragic moments happen. Just a happy, nice little outing. Eating lunch. Yep, no tragic moments happen here. Just fine dining. But anyway, show you a little bit more. Going through the room where Christine is put. Pretty nice, I guess. I did what I could. I really want to make sure you see this whole thing. I forgot to show the gallery screen, but I think it'll be pretty easy to find this on the gallery, just looking up Opera House. Ooh, there's little mice, or the rats, coming out of the box that I was talking about. I like that detail. Probably my favorite part. Probably because I had the most thought. Well, other than the whole thought of having a whole opera house in The Sims. Why did I do this? I'm gonna need like another 3 days off after this. There you go. Really proud of it. Try to give you, you know, a proper top view. Going through all the floors again. If you had any thoughts, let me know in the comments. I would really appreciate it. Oh boy. This took a lot out of me. Tried to get different perspectives of what it looked like from the different sections. I keep worrying that my brother can hear me recording this, and I'm a little embarrassed. But he says weird things all the time while playing video games, so it's okay. Well, I'm just gonna choose not to care. I worked really hard, and I really want people to see this. So, yeah. If you made it this far, thank you for struggling with me. I'm surprised I made it this far. Anyway, I'm gonna hand it over to Eric's beautiful singing that I didn't level up.
Do, 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 re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. la 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 la. Do, 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 re.